Welcome to the Homeschool High School podcast, brought to you by Seven Sisters Homeschool.com and the Ultimate Homeschool Podcast Network. I'm Vicki, and I'm so excited to talk to you about one of the most fun courses to take in homeschooling high school. While it's not a requirement for graduation, it sure is a practical and fun elective. So let's talk about early childhood education as a course in homeschool high school. So early childhood education is an elective course. It counts as a career exploration for homeschooling high schoolers so they can explore it to see if maybe this might be a calling that's in their lives, or it can be a life preparation elective because a lot of our teens are going to grow up and become parents at some point. And so this gives them some ideas of ways to make parenting really young children fun. So anyway, early childhood education. So let me tell you a little bit about early childhood education and what the course is about. So it's a textbook that is a simple as all Seven Sisters curriculum is. It's no busy work, not out to bore teens. We're out to inspire and maybe have some fun while we learn our subjects. So early childhood education explores how young children grow and develop. So we're talking about little ones like preschool age, okay? We'll talk about different philosophies in early childhood education because there are different philosophies, the way that people teach. Early childhood education is different. Just like you've noticed with homeschooling, there's these different almost like denominations of educational philosophy. Well, there are different early childhood education ideas too. And then some practical teaching ideas, to help teens develop lesson plans and ideas if they're working with little ones, which a lot of them also will be doing when they babysit. So there's an idea. All right, so let me talk about why teens would benefit from studying early childhood education during their homeschool high school years. So number one is it adds power to their transcript, and they can do that in several different ways. So you can add power to their transcript by making a Sparkle elective. So a Sparkle elective is an elective that teens add to their transcript that shows that they can develop interests, develop life skills, lean into something that they may be interested in the future. So if they're interested in education or educating or social sciences, early childhood education can add on to some of their other courses to level up or just be a Sparkle elective in that area of interest. So let's say they're taking human development. So that's another Seven Sisters social science course. And that is a really good one if they are thinking about going into social sciences in the future. And it's a fun course because it talks about how humans grow and change from womb to old age. So let's say they've got a human development course from Seven Sisters, and that is an average level high school course that most teens can do and enjoy, even if they're not college bound. And like all Seven Sisters curriculum, there information on how to level it up to an honors level by adding enrichment activities. So one enrichment activity they can add on is early childhood education, which could be a half credit by itself. Put on with human development, you've got a leveled up credit for your human development credit. Does that make sense? So it can be a leveling up Sparkle elective or a leveling up social science activity to help human development, or even psychology to level up to a higher power credit. All right. Early childhood education should be studied because a lot of these teens are going to grow up and be parents someday. And early childhood ed prepares teens to understand preschoolers and their developmental needs, their early educational needs. It's lighthearted, it's no busy work, but it gives a glimpse into little brains. When they've got young siblings or they're babysitting, they can learn now, what is useful for a little one at this size. So, you know this offhand. You don't teach most 2-year-olds to read. They do more multisensory things and they listen to stories. We teach those kind of concepts so that teens already go into adulthood with confidence and into their babysitting and practical experiences now with more confidence. All right. Another reason, as we've discussed, is enriching their career exploration experiences. One part of career exploration is trying on hats. And sometimes you do that with an apprenticeship or an internship. And sometimes you do it with a textbook. So if you've done a good career exploration curriculum, have a basic outline of what career exploration is, and then found an interest in children, or in education or in psychology. One thing that teens can do is then to make an early childhood education career exploration credit, that a half credit in that area for career exploration elective. Does that make sense? So you've got a career exploration plus this extra elective, and that just gives a richer career exploration experience in high school. And again, for teens who are heading in that direction in college, it sparkles up the transcript. So, all right, here's an important one. Early childhood education is an important mission field. Not kidding. So many American parents, both the mother and the father, are career people, and their children are in different daycare settings. And that's just the way it is. And so one of the things to think about is that this is a mission field like nothing. This is, you're meeting a parent's needs, but have all these little young children that you can invest God's love in. That is a mission field. And it's really, really hard these days to find people who go into early childhood education loving the job, feeling a calling for it. So if we could get more and more of our young people thinking in that direction, like, how can I be a missionary in the world to little ones? What great seeds of the gospel can be planted. All right. And then another reason to study early childhood education in high school is it's just fun. It is so much. It is a fun credit. So let me tell you a little bit about that. So the curriculum from Seven Sisters has an introduction with a couple of chapters. Again, this is lighthearted, understanding the physical and cognitive development of preschoolers. So it goes along with the human development text if you're studying that, but it's very simple for the purposes of, we just want introduction. You want to have basic concepts of what's going on. Then, as always with any curriculum, you got to do a little of the history of early childhood education from the viewpoint of, who came up with the idea that there's early childhood education. So we talk about some of the educational theorists over time and what their ideas were and what's really cool about what they bring to the table. And so we got several different chapters on that. Each chapter has some activities that you can do with that idea that educator brought onto the table. So we talk about, like, Montessori. What's Montessori like? What are those hands-on kind of interest-led experiences in a preschool setting? Talk about Charlotte Mason, which is very common in the homeschool community, and what that looks like at a preschool level. Talk about multiple intelligences, whether verbal or auditory or kinesthetic, so that watching little ones and discovering how they love to learn and what you can do with that with little ones. We talk a little bit about what are the qualities of a good early childhood education teacher. That's really important if you feel any calling in that direction. And then if you were going to be an early childhood educator, or maybe teach Sunday school with little ones, you may need a little classroom skills and classroom management skills. And so we work some with that. And then we work on how to create lesson plans, because it's kind of one of those things you do if you have little preschoolers and you're teaching them intentionally, so it's good to have some basic skills on some basic lesson plans that are appropriate for that age. And then there is a final project where you get to create your own lesson plans and make a little presentation that you can share with your co-op or your family. And we got some resources attached that you can use for all of that. So also you can download a syllabus if you are interested in following a syllabus to get through the course. And that's a freebie. That's not part of the curriculum. It's just a download that you can do if you want. So it is a fun course. The folks that have done early childhood education with their homeschool high schoolers have had a blast with the course, and we get such good feedback about it. In fact, the course was created by request because there are a certain percentage of teens who are kind of going into at least babysitting, but thinking more professionally in that area, and just wanted some more like practical stuff. So I hope your teens, or some of them, will try out early childhood education and really enrich their lives. Well, there are so many fun things to talk about homeschooling high school, so we'll get back to it next week. Thank you for joining us today at the Homeschool High School Podcast, brought to you by sevensistershomeschool.com and the Ultimate Homeschool Podcast Network. Thank you very, very much, Seth Tillman, for editing, and our friend Richie Soares for creating the blog post. We will see you all next week.